Hello, I'm Tim Olson, District Judge, 22nd Judicial District that covers Seminole, Hughes, and Pontotoc counties.
My name is Lorenzo Banks. I'm a local attorney here in Oklahoma City.
My name is Jack Cadenhead. I'm an attorney and I practice in Seminole County.
Law Day began in Seminole County, specifically Wewoka, Oklahoma. An attorney there named Hicks Epton. Mr. Epton's actually in the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. He was a very prominent lawyer during the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Wewoka was noted for having more lawyers per capita than any town or city in the United States.
Mr. Epton believed that it was important that Americans were reminded of the freedoms that they have and the liberties that they have, and that those should be celebrated.
And in 1958, President Eisenhower was the first president to recognize it as a national recognition of Law Day on May the 1st. It's been that way ever since. Our local as well as our national Law Day got its start in Wewoka, Oklahoma.
And it's something as a Seminole Countyan and someone who practices in Wewoka regularly, it's something that we're proud of, and it's something that students should be reminded of because they're the next leaders.
It is the day that we take the time to acknowledge the rule of and celebrate the rule of law and the rights that we have as Americans here in the United States.
Some of the freedoms that we celebrate and should be recognized on Law Day, the main ones that we start with are the Constitution and our Bill of Rights.
Everything that we have here in the United States based upon the rule of law is in fact done with the help of judges who are oftentimes the foundation lawyers. This is an important day for lawyers to in fact lead the people in.
We try to do that on Law Day, going into the schools statewide, try to raise awareness about civics, and that's a real issue right now. I think we've seen in the last couple of years with some things that have happened in our country that it appears that maybe we aren't emphasizing civics enough in our schools. And I think Law Day is important here in Oklahoma.
I think the best way to celebrate Law Day for just the average citizen of Oklahoma or the citizen of the United States is just reflect on the freedoms that we enjoy as American citizens.
Law Day is a great time and a great opportunity for you as an individual to participate with lawyers, with judges, and learn more about the laws and the rights that govern us and ultimately give you the life that you enjoy here in the U.S.
We have trial court judges that hear the case, the first impression, listen to the evidence, or the jury will listen to the evidence, and the trial judge is involved in that part. Then we have appellate judges that can review the trial court and see if there are any rights have been violated. But my job primarily is to make sure that all citizens have access to the courts, and that when they have access to the courts, that they receive a fair and impartial trial. Judges at the trial bench, we try to make sure that litigants' rights are not violated. If somebody's charged with a crime, to make sure they get a fair trial. It's more important to our system for somebody to get a fair trial than it is to necessarily convict a person.
We have the job of representing people. Our job is to help people. We advocate for the best interests of our clients. Sometimes that's not even in a courtroom. A lot of citizens have the idea that, every day when I go to work, I'm just going to the courthouse and I'm arguing in court before a judge or a jury. Most of my practice is not that at all. Most of my practice is meeting with and counseling my clients how to best protect their assets, protect their interests. I think that's the role of a lawyer, is advocating for what's best for their client, in addition to speaking on behalf of their client in the courtroom.
The idea that we can be protected from the government's intrusion in our founding document, which being the Constitution, the right to against self-incrimination, right? The right to have a lawyer in the event that you have been charged with a crime, and they could potentially, and your freedom could be taken from you. Things of this nature where other countries may not necessarily have that. It makes us so unique in that we have certain inalienable rights to our citizenry that are so important for the sake of, again, kind of getting the motif here, kind of hearing the same thing over and over again, but because I believe is that that was America's foundation. We are trying to prevent chaos, predictability, understanding, and the prevention of chaos.
Our federal government, the Congress, makes laws, and Congress is made up of the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives. Oklahoma's state government it kind of mirrors the federal system, and we have a legislature that has that role in making laws in Oklahoma. We have a state Senate and a House of Representatives, and they make laws in Oklahoma.
For judges to protect people's rights in the court system, you have to have attorneys that will present the arguments, look at their client's case, and it's up to the attorney to tell the judge, hey, this is a problem here. We want the court to rule this way or that way because this is what happened and this is illegal. So it's up to the attorneys to make sure that the judge is aware and made aware of any problems that there may exist in the case, and to present the evidence on behalf of their client most favorable if they can.
The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments of our United States Constitution. The ones most Americans are familiar with are, of course, the freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, freedom to practice whatever religion you choose, freedom of the press, the right to bear arms, right to a speedy trial, the right to not have your property taken without compensation, of course, the right to not be punished in a cruel and unusual way when you are convicted of a crime.
I believe that the rule of law has shaped America in that no matter what state you go to, there's this underlying theme that we in this state, which is housed within our country, we have come together as a state to come up with a set of rules that are supposed to be applicable to all people, equally across the nation or equally across their state, for purposes of creating consistency and a peaceful society that people can actually have some predictability as to what's expected of them and how they'll be treated within the boundaries of that state. I believe the rule of law being first established at the federal level and then trickling down to each of the states now has this assumption or expectation for the citizenry of the United States. No matter what state you go to, there will be a set of laws that are supposed to be applied to all individuals in that state equally for purposes of maintaining an unchaotic society.